everyone, thank you for tuning in. You're watching the Property Guide on ET Now. This is your weekly guide to buying property in India. If you have questions to do with property, buying a home or getting a home loan, write to us. Our email ID is at the bottom of your screen. We also have a legal segment where we'll answer any of the legal problems you're having with buying a home. On the show this week, we finally have dates for the Lok Sabha elections. We'll find out if you should close your real estate deal before or after we hear the results. The Haryana government has announced a 50% cut in property tax. What impact will this have on home buyers in Gurgaon and Faridabad? We'll find out. And in our legal segment, what options do you have if your builder demands extra money after booking? We have a power-packed panel of guests with us in the studio. Pranay Vakil, Chairman of Paron Consultancy, Ashutosh Limaya, Head of Research at JLL, and Jayashree Kurup, Head of Content and Research at MagicBricks.com. So this is really the best possible panel I could put together. And we know that last week the Election Commission announced the 9th phase of the Lok Sabha polls. The polls will begin on the 7th of April. Counting will be on the 16th of May. That doesn't give us too much time to close a deal on real estate. But should we wait until after the election results? Should we watch to see if the realty market will pick up, or should we be placing our bets today? Let's find out. That's why we have this wonderful panel of guests. Pranay, it's about sentiment, really. It's about betting on what we think will happen after the elections. What is your advice for those of us who are sitting on the fence? And we know there are plenty of fence sitters right now who are thinking the prices would come down, who are trying to make up their mind. What's your advice at this point?
Well, it's a bet that you're taking on what the results would be coming out of these elections. If you're going to have a stable government, yes, the prices can further improve. If you're going to have a situation of chaos and a fractured mandate, then I'm sure the volumes will continue to remain low because it's driven by the sentiments. Why is it driven by the sentiments? Because you have the investors in the market. Mm-hmm. So you have two distinct groups in the market, the actual users and the investors. The actual users need the place no matter what time of the year it is, you know, what the economy is doing.
So you think the investors will start rolling back in at this point?
The investors are sitting on the fence. Mm-hmm. They will wait and watch as to which way they think the wind is blowing and then really take a bet. Because they're short-term people. You find the volumes really low, both for leasing and for outright sale. And that is mainly because people are waiting and watching.
People are waiting and watching. And if you're talking about sentiment, Jayashree, I'm going to bring you in here. You have the Housing Sentiment Index, the only one in the country right now. Tell us what the Sentiment Index is telling you at this point. Do you believe that customers are going to get off that fence anytime soon?
Faye, when we did the last Housing Sentiment Index, we found that the customers are now saying that they don't expect prices to fall any further, and they are willing to buy in the next 6 to 9 months. Yes, the elections have a big role to play in the way they are buying. Today, both the end user and the investor has been holding back for a while, and which is why the property markets have witnessed the lowest buying in the last few months, maybe about a year. But we find that actually NOIDA has bounced back significantly, which means that when you see a lot of activity on the ground, the end users are moving in, properties are coming towards completion, and NOIDA has been the one market that has bucked the trend. Even before Telangana was announced, Hyderabad sentiment showed that buyers are willing to buy. They are looking around, they're scouting around actively for property.
Ashutosh, if we have the best possible outcome from the elections, which is a single party majority, which is what the country is looking forward to, how long is it going to be? There will be a lag effect. How long is it going to be before we see that reflect in our real estate property prices, where prices will start moving up again?
I think if we get the best results in terms of the most stable government, then I think it will be a 3 to 6 months time lag that we can expect. Because I think the new launches will be launched with a slightly higher price point. But at the same time, the investors may want to take a call on what pricing they should bring their stock out into the market compared to the developers' stock. And as Jayashree was saying, the end users, irrespective of the election result, is now participating a lot more. If the stable government comes in, then the activity from the end user will increase because they will feel that the prices will go up. If stable government doesn't come to the power, then probably the investors will start offloading their stock and the end user will start buying that at a slightly discounted rate.
If I've already narrowed down my list and I have a home that I've got my eye on, I should possibly wait till results and then during the monsoon maybe cut a deal?
Absolutely. I think that is the great time for any buyer, because the activity is generally low, and that is the time when the properties available in the market will be offering the best deals.
Jayashree, for those people who are going to take your advice right now and go out and make a deal at this point, you have a website called MagicBricks Deals. How much room is there for negotiation right now? Are builders willing to negotiate at this point, or are they also waiting on the fence right now to see how things play out?
I think it depends from market to market. It's not that developers across every market are either negotiating or not negotiating. But in cities where the stock is very high, which would be the Delhi NCR, which would be, many cities where the stock is nearing completion or it's already completed, that's where developers would like to exit the project and sell off at a discount. And I think many of them are negotiating, are willing to negotiate with the right kind of buyers.
All right. So before we go in to answer more questions, I'm going to put up on your screen a list of projects that we know of open to negotiation in various cities right now. Take a look. Well, here are a list of projects that are offering discounts across the country. In Bangalore, Ithika by Skylark, a special discount on every booking. Vajram Orchid, a discount of 100 rupees a square foot. Kalpa Vruksha, a discount of 150 rupees a square foot. World by Falco Developers in Mumbai has waived off development and floor-rise charges. Samriddhi Green, also in Mumbai, a discount of 200 rupees a square foot on 3-bedroom homes. Tivon Park by Damji Shamji Shah Group in Mumbai has offered special launch rates. Fresco Homes by Exotica Housing in Noida has no EMIs for the first 12 months. Grand City by the Prateek Group in Ghaziabad, a discount of 100 rupees per square foot, and Udaan by JP Greens, also in Noida, a discount of up to 1 lakh rupees on every booking. All right, we hope you got that down. If you have any questions about what you heard, feel free to write to us. Let's answer a few of those questions right now. Vivek has written in, he wants to buy property in Kochi with a budget of 2 to 3 crore rupees. Give me locations that I can invest in. He tells us he already owns property in Marine Drive in Kochi. He wants to know what the location's future prospects are. 2 to 3 crore rupees is a lot of money in Kochi, Jayashree. What would you like him to do with that money?
You can get a 3 BHK flat in localities like Kakanad, Kottayam, Alua, Kadavantara. These are all areas where in 50 to 57 lakh, you can get a 1400 to 1700 square feet apartment. So if you're looking at an apartment, you have a huge budget. Maybe you should think of more than one property. But if you look at standalone houses, the traditional houses that are there in Kerala, you will find that you have Tiruvankulam, Edapalli, Kakanad, Kalur, Kundanur. These are all areas where you can get probably 4 to 6 BHK houses, and you should be able to get it in 2.25 to about 3 crore. That's what I found on the site. You get about 5,000 to 7,500 square feet houses in this budget, and rental returns in places like Edapalli and Kalur, you're getting about 30,000 to about 52,000 rupees per month, and in Kakanad, it's about 66,000 to about 80,000 per month. So if you have a huge budget and you're willing to buy a house, these are not new apartments from any developers. These are existing houses. If you want apartments, you have a very, very big budget. You can buy a basket of property.
A basket of apartments, that's quite a luxury. Ashutosh, very quick question to you. Vivek is obviously buying a second home and he's buying it as an investment. Now, for someone with that kind of a budget, is Kochi the best bet right now in the south? Would he be better off deploying it in a Bangalore or a Chennai, perhaps?
I think yes. I think the tier 1 cities, Bangalore, Chennai, are a bigger bet, I think, because there you have more certainty of good rental income, and you have better options in terms of reputed developers bringing out projects with. I think with his budget, I think he can buy land and houses also in other parts of Kerala as well, because that is something which is a preferred option by people working in the Gulf and then wanting to come back and buy properties. And why restrict to Cochin alone? We have virtually every district place offering great real estate options when it comes to land and a bungalow on it.
Far too many options there for you, Vivek. Right back to us if you need any more help about specific locations. It'll be our pleasure. One last question. Suman has written in that he bought a 535 square foot sized home in Virar. And for Vivek Matthew, who wrote in from Kochi, that's the size in Mumbai. In 2010 for 25 lakh rupees, he says the property is currently valued at 40 lakh rupees. He's planning to sell the property in Virar, reinvest it in a 2-bedroom apartment in Thane. Give him some options. Now the budget in Thane is 60 lakh rupees. Pranay, you're the expert.
Okay. First of all, I have my doubts whether he'll get 40 lakhs for a 535 square feet in Virar.
In Virar.
Assuming that he does, I think he should encash it. Because it's a very good price. Now, investing into Thane, I have a question mark. Why? Because Thane has peaked to my mind.
Okay.
In terms of pricing. Considering everything, if I was to buy, I would put my bets more on something closer to Panvel, like the New Bombay, like Kharghar, than Thane.
All right, so there you have it. Lots of options available for you. Get back in touch with us if you need anything else. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Haryana government's decision to cut property tax. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching the Property Guide in ET. Now, all of our guests are still with us, helping us make smart decisions when it comes to buying property. Let's focus on some policy news. The Haryana government has announced a rebate on property tax. The move will majorly benefit home buyers in areas like Gurgaon and Faridabad. Let's take a closer look at the policy and then we'll come back and talk about it. The Haryana government has announced a tax rebate for home buyers across the state. Property tax on homes sized up to 2,000 square feet will be halved from the current 1 rupee a square foot. Around 60,000 flat owners across the NCR, mostly in areas like Gurgaon, Faridabad, Sonipat and Bahadurgarh, will benefit from this move. Similarly, a 50% rebate has been announced in commercial space on rates given to IT parks and cyber cities of all municipalities. The tax has been waived off till the 31st of March 2016 on properties situated in the Lal Dora areas, which have come under municipal limits after the 1st of April in 2010. Lal Dora refers to traditional village land used for non-agricultural purposes. The Cabinet has also announced a one-time rebate of 30% for homeowners who've cleared all of their areas before the 31st of March. All right, so that was the Haryana government. Pranay, big difference there for people in Gurgaon. You think it's going to be the fill-up that market needs?
It will make some difference, but I don't think it would change the mindset in buying, not buying, leasing, not leasing, because the rupee becoming 50 paise, is a difference, but it's not so significant that it will swing the mindset from one to the other. That's my feeling. Yes, any reduction in tax is welcome because I think the important thing is where is the tax being used.
Ashutosh, Faridabad has not had the kind of attention that Gurgaon has had up till now. So when people in the NCR region are looking to invest or looking to buy a home, do you think that this really small decision in some way will again bring Faridabad slightly more attention than it has received in the past?
Not really, because Faridabad, Gurgaon being part of the same state, they are going to witness the same benefits or limitations the other town is going to witness. So if Faridabad is competing with, say, NOIDA or Greater NOIDA, then the states are different and the policies are different. But the benefit is not that significant that Faridabad can ride on some of the other limitations and through this it can pull that kind of decision in its favor. I think those are different markets known for different pros and cons. So this little benefit in property tax, though it's welcome, as Pranay said, I don't think it's going to swing decisions.
All right. Jayashree, you were just telling us how this housing sentiment index tells you that Noida is possibly seeing the largest change right now. Do you also believe that for people who are looking at the NCR, Noida seems far more attractive than either Gurgaon or Faridabad?
Gurgaon and Noida have two different sets of buyers, and there are buyers for both of them. And I don't think a property tax reduction by 50% is going to significantly impact the property buying decision, whether I should buy in Gurgaon, Ghaziabad or Noida. These are the three very, very active markets in the NCR. The second thing is that, you know, the Lal Dora areas, they should be getting a much bigger tax incentive. It's been waived off till 2016. By this logic, are they expecting more investment into the Lal Dora areas? We're not really sure. However, nothing is going to happen before the elections because right now no decisions can be taken.
All right, no decisions can be made, but I want to do a quick round of questions to each of our guests, and we have to make this really quick. I want to find out, within the NCR, of all of the neighborhoods we've talked about, give me your biggest bet for growth over the next 5 years, very quickly.
Noida.
Noida, Ashutosh?
I would place Outer Gurgaon.
Outer Gurgaon. And Jayashree, in the NCR, top location for you?
I would say Greater Gurgaon, that is the Sona areas which have been master planned into Gurgaon and the off the Sona road. They were part of New Gurgaon off the Sona road.
All right, so if you want to call it Outer Gurgaon, Greater Gurgaon, that's two votes for Gurgaon, one for Noida there. But if you are determined that you want to buy a home in Haryana in any of those locations, we put together some options of strong developers. Take a look. If you're looking for a home in Haryana, here are some options. PDM High-Tech Homes by Prabhu Shanti Real Estate, North Avenue by Omax, Park Sentosa by BPTP, Rivanta by Raheja Developers, Westerlies by the Experian Group, ABL Prime by Adarsh Build Estate, and Esfera by Imperial Structures. Time to take a few more questions. Gaurav has written in, wants to buy an apartment in the NCR, budget of 45 lakh rupees. Shortlisted Greater Noida, New Faridabad, New Gurgaon, investment horizon of 2 to 3 years. Give him some options. Jayashree, within that budget, what can he afford?
In Greater Noida, he should be able to get a 3 BHK apartment. You can get it in Omicron 1 or on the Yamuna Expressway. Roughly 2,500 to 3,500 per square foot and 29 to 35 lakh, he should be able to get his properties. You have good developers there, Ajnara, Gorsons, Supertech, Lotus Green, Amrapali. You have well-known developers building in this area. If you go to Faridabad, it is largely the Neherpar and Senek Colony and Sector 84, where you get about 3,200 to 4,500 per square foot. So 32 to 39 lakh, you should be able to find options. If you look at Gurgaon, a 2 BHK in sectors 90, 99, 102, you are getting about 4,000 to 6,500 per square foot. So about 800 to 1,000, which by Delhi standards is pretty small. Developers are also local developers. None of the large developers you wouldn't be able to afford in this budget.
All right, let's quickly take another question. Akash has written in, he wants to buy an apartment in Bangalore with a budget of 1.25 CR. His investment horizon is 5 years and he shortlisted the Prestige Lakeside Habitat and the Shobha City. He wants to know which of these two are better options. Pranay, if you're looking at locations in Bangalore, one of them is in Batur and the other one is in Tanasandra Main Road. Where do you think he'd have, a better bet as an investment at this point?
Obviously, the location is very important, but what is also more important is the developer. Both the developers that he's chosen are good. I personally have a preference for Shobha, for the quality that they deliver, for the timeliness, and generally the listed company, preference that I have. So I do feel that on a personal basis, I would be a little more inclined for a Shobha development.
Okay. Jayashree, I'm going to quickly bring you in here. Between Lakeside Habitat and Shobha City, as an investment option, which one would make more sense?
See, Prestige Lakeside will be ready for possession by 2014. The Shobha City and Thanisandra is, phase 1 is in 2015 and phase 2 is delivery is 2016. So you're looking at, if you want to invest, you want to enter early on in the cycle, maybe Shobha City is a good option. Prestige Habitat, because it is already in the completion phase, you'll have to pay upfront a lot more.
So there you have it. If you have any questions about a property deal that you are looking at right now, feel free to write to us. I want to thank all of our guests for coming in. Pranay, Ashutosh and Jayashree, thank you so much for all of the information you all bring into the studio every time you come in. It's time for a quick break. In our legal segment, we'll give you options in case your builder is demanding extra money after you've signed that deal and made the booking. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching the Property Guide on ET now. Time for us to answer a few of the legal questions you sent in during the week, and to help us answer them, Advocate Hemang Jariwala is standing by. Hemang, thank you for joining us. Shankar has written in. He booked an apartment in Noida Extension. He tells us immediately after the booking, the builder increased the total area of the apartment and demanded an extra 1.5 lakh rupees from him. Can he claim a refund from the builder, get his money back, or cancel his booking? What can he do?
In this case, where the builder has arbitrarily changed the dimensions of the flat after having executed a valid and a subsisting agreement, there are two options which the flat purchaser has. The first is that under the Specific Relief Act, the flat purchaser can approach the regular courts and place the agreement before the Honorable Court, stating that the builder had sold a flat with a particular dimension and now he has increased the dimension and demanding much more than what was agreed, thereby praying that either to be given the flat with the same dimensions, or if there is increase in dimensions, the rate to be charged by the builder should be exactly the same which was agreed at the time of selling the flat. The second option the flat purchaser has is that in case he wants the refund and does not want to continue with the builders which he is saying are dangerous people, then in that case he has to serve a legal notice upon them stating that you have unilaterally and arbitrarily changed the dimensions of the flat, thereby grossly violated the agreement, and that's why the flat purchaser should categorically state that he does not intend to continue with the said contract and to refund the said amount along with interest. After having served the legal notice, if the builders do not respond, then the flat purchaser should file under the Consumer Protection Act 1986 a consumer complaint with the concerned consumer forum, and therein pray for the refund of the principal amount along with interest and also compensation for mental agony and harassment.
Ravi has also written in. He bought a flat at Purva Venezia in Bangalore. The developer has delayed delivery by 4 years, he says. The developer handed over the apartment with a lot of snags like lack of power and water supply, among others. He wants to know what options he has right now as a customer.
In this case, where the builder has given the possession after 4 years and that too not providing electricity, water, car park allocations, as well as there being snags in the construction, the flat purchaser, being a consumer, should approach the consumer forum after sending a legal notice, and in the consumer complaint specifically state all the defects which they find in the construction and make a prayer that the builder be called upon to complete these defects in a time-bound manner, provide electricity, water supply, and for not doing so, the consumer forum be prayed to grant them compensation and damages for such deficiency of service. And I am sure the consumer forum shall grant them this relief and call upon the builder to complete the project as expected under the provisions of law.
All right, Hemang, thank you for answering our questions.
Thank
Now, if
you.
you're having issues with your developer, feel free to write to us. Our email ID is at the bottom of your screen. We'll try and help in any way we can. Send in any questions you have. You can reach me personally on Twitter. Thanks so much for watching.